something you posted. Look at the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I have a special guest with me, my fiance. Today we want to do something fun as the countdown is on to our wedding. We are 12 weeks out. So we thought we would do something fun today and do a wedding Q&A. So we put this out on Instagram and we got tons of questions. So thank you so much for that. We've narrowed it down to 14 questions.
Yeah,
so we're going to do our best to answer all of them. Okay, so let's go in with question number 1. What's the most unexpected thing that you've learned about each other during wedding planning?
Nothing I didn't already know. You know what I mean? Is that when making big decisions, it can be quite emotional, quite intense. We have a tendency to try and do too much at the same time, which is fair. Like running a business and trying to plan a wedding and do other stuff at the same time is intense.
Yeah.
I haven't learned anything. It's just just the same. It was just more intense this time round.
I think that I've learned that so for example, there's more things that you want to spend money on than I want to spend money on.
Yeah.
I've learned that this time around. I thought that was just going to be me, like, let's spend loads of money on everything. And you were the one that used to be like, let's just rein it in.
Yeah.
But this time you really surprised me with the table.
Table, yes. I still want fireworks. I'm still pushing for fireworks. We've got sparklers. I want a massive fireworks show up.
Question number 2. What's the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you as a couple?
We said we was going to move to America and ended up coming home 5 weeks later. So see you later, guys. Bye. We're leaving. Not going to see anyone in the UK anymore. And then literally 5 weeks later came back home because we did not crack America.
And COVID happened.
Yeah.
So
COVID was convenient for us. We was coming home before COVID, but it was around about the same time. So that was. It
wasn't really embarrassing. It was a life lesson. I think we weren't ready for it. We thought we were, but you learn from your mistakes, and that was a big learning curve for us.
We was definitely overly confident going in, but yeah, I learned a lot, but that was hard.
Okay, this is a really good question. Are you ready for this one?
And just so you know, I haven't seen any of these questions before.
Who farted first?
It was them, 100%. I can tell you exactly.
It was not. You would have fired before me, 100%, but I just can't remember it.
No, it's just because when you get caught, it's very different. Obviously, people fart all the time. What happened? Well, we were sitting in the front room. I can remember it clear as day. I was sitting on the little dining room table, and Em was on the other side of the sofa. In the side, it just said, "Perp." And because it was so early in the relationship, I was like, do I address it? Do I say anything? And I didn't. We just sat there in silence, knowing that it had happened, and didn't mention it till fucking like 6 months later. So that was it. So it's 100% M. And she still does it now.
Can I just say that we are probably one of the only couples that I know that don't actually fart in front of each other on purpose. So
no, I like to think of you as a unicorn. You need to keep some things sacred, otherwise it gets into a free fall, and I don't want that kind of relationship.
Hoping that doesn't happen when we get married.
No, 100% not.
When did you both know that you were the one?
Like 4 or 5 weeks on it. No, when did we go on our first date? How long in was that? Like 2-3 weeks?
Well, we basically moved in with each other after 2 months. So I think we knew that we were the one for each other. Definitely for me, the first 4 weeks.
I'm just trying to work whenever we went on our first date. I know it's weird because obviously we worked together and it was all like a big secret at first. We didn't feel like people knew, but they 100% knew. But so it's whenever we went on a first date, it must have been like 2-3 weeks in, because we went out on a date. We went to Camden, went out in the day at got to train at 11:30 in the morning to go and have some drinks and eat some food and come in at 4 o'clock in the morning. And if you've ever been with someone, you spend a whole day with them, have the best fucking time, and then come back. So I told her I loved her that night.
You ruined one of the questions.
But that was the question.
No, it was like, how did you know that we were the one?
Oh, it's the same shit.
That's the question for later.
So this is what happens. You don't get told the question.
This is what happens. I knew that Ross was the one a little bit earlier on because he kept saying a lot of things that I wanted. So just a spoiler alert for people that don't know, Ross was very convinced when we were seeing each other that this was never going to be anything more than just seeing each other. He didn't want to have kids, didn't want to get married, he didn't want to have
any kind of relationship.
He was just happy to be on his own, and what we had was just meant to be a thing at the time, and no one could ever know about it. But when he started speaking about all the things that he wanted from life and how ambitious he was, that's when I knew that he was the one. And whether or not he wanted to be with me at the time, I just knew the type of person that I actually wanted to be with. But luckily for me, this happened 8 years later.
all the things I said wasn't going to happen have happened.
Have happened, except the kids, but we'll come on to that. So, who's most likely to cry during the vows?
I haven't cried since I was 6 years old. This is an issue.
He hasn't cried since he was 6 years old.
That's not an exact date. I can't remember the last time I cried and not being like a small child. And this is a problem. It's not like Emma's like calls me a robot. I'm not a robot. I don't cry.
If you don't cry on our wedding, I'm going to punch you in the nuts until you cry.
She would love to be able to do that, but she's going to be too busy fucking crying. Just working to do anything. So.
Yeah, I'm 100% going to cry. I'm already emotional thinking about it.
Even on the build up on the wedding day, just getting ready and stuff, you're going to be crying, aren't you?
I've already been crying just doing the wedding playlist, to be honest. My ultimate goal is for Ross to cry.
Yeah.
I want him to cry when I walk down the aisle.
If I don't, that doesn't mean anything negative. I obviously clearly really love you. I'm just not a cry person.
We'll see. What's your favourite memory together as a couple?
Thailand, I think.
Yeah.
I think Thailand. Thailand was our first holiday together, a proper little adventure. We based our whole relationship on trying to make every day an adventure and having fun. And when we went to Thailand, it was just fucking amazing. Been to lots of really cool places, but we stayed on like a floating tent in a lake, did jungle treks in caves, all sorts of stuff. And because it's one of those things where, because it's early in a relationship, you're still getting to know each other. So you can know each other like in your normal sitting when you're working, but when you go away and just travel for a little bit, that was everything for me, so I think that was definitely it. When we was in the canoe and you kept calling the canoe because you didn't quite understand how that fucking worked. And we got footage of all this stuff as well.
That's definitely one of mine, but obviously I can't have the same memory. So mine's probably going to be getting engaged.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think the proposal was the second highlight of our relationship, just because it was so unique, and Ross really did surprise me, and I thought that he would never be able to surprise me because I was very particular of how the engagement should have been. Even though I didn't quite go to as planned.
What happened?
I fell in the river.
There was a waterfall, and the only way that I could do it, because Em was like, right, we need to get engaged at this part of the year, and it can't be in this country, so we only really had one holiday. So I was like, oh, it's going to be in Bali then. So I had to do everything to throw her off. I got the ring sorted, super sneaky. Had to give it to her best friend, Mem, who's now given her away. We had this whole thing at the airport. We were smuggling the ring around, and then we waited till Em was going to be on a photo shoot, because if you don't know Em, as well as I do, but a lot of people do, is that when she's on a photo shoot, you could have a big sign saying, Em, will you marry me? And she'd be like, yeah, the fucking way. So we got up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Thailand to go to this beautiful waterfall so she could do a photo shoot. She's in there. And while she's kind of just doing her thing, I was like, right, this is going to be it. So I got the ring, I got ready, and we went with a photographer. There was like a massive waterfall, and like the river that comes off it, you had to walk across a little bridge, step 1 foot in the river, and stand on this beautiful rock for all the photos. I stepped across, I held her little hand, I was like, put your foot here, and she missed it and just went fucking under. Like, poof, like,
and girls, let me just say right now, to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do your hair and makeup, for it to be ruined in the first 30 minutes of the shoot, I was very upset.
So I pulled her out and she was all cold and shaking.
And I cut my leg.
Yeah, I cut her leg. And they're looking at me and I'm like, no, this is not the fucking time. Like, you okay? She's like, crying. So we had to leave it, let things settle down, and then about 20 minutes later, when she sorted herself out, then I did it then.
I'll tell the rest of the story. I said to Ross, can you pick me up for the next photo? And he was like, yeah. So I turned around and he was down on one knee because I thought that he was going to be picking me up. So I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing down there? And he was like, kind of grabbed my hand. I couldn't hear what he was saying because the waterfall was so loud. And I was just like, what? Are you proposing? And he was like, yes. Yes, I am. And you just said some really amazing things that I had to get him to repeat to me the next day because I couldn't really hear it, and I was so shocked. But it was amazing.
And this was such a nice thing because obviously we had a photographer there, so we captured everything. It was really, really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we're halfway through. This is a funny one. If you had to describe your partner using only emojis, which one would you choose? You go first. What emoji?
I would. There'd be 2 emojis, right? Because Em's 2 things. She's fiery and she's passionate. So you know that emoji which got the swearing face of all the things over? It's like, you fucking hell! It's that one. And then a big red love heart, equally both of those ones.
Aww. There's no Tigger emoji on the emojis, is there? If Tigger had an emoji, Ross would be Tigger. I reckon a puppy and...
You need to explain that, otherwise people are like, why are you saying fucking puppy? Mine had some context, yours is like...
Okay, so I always call Ross a puppy and he calls me a cat. Because he's a little puppy dog and he'll, not like he runs around after me, that's the wrong way to say it. No, he's very happy, very content, always smiling. And then I'm like a pillow cat, he calls me, so I can be very vicious.
Em's like a spirit animal. The easiest way to describe it. Everyone's got a spirit animal. I'm quite. I just like jumping around. I'm happy, fun all the time. Em's one of those cats, you know, like a Persian cat, a white one that sits on a pillow, just sits there and just licking cream all day, and it just sits there, and it's absolutely fine until you brush it the wrong way. It's like. That's it, and she just sits there, okay? That is M 100%. She's a fucking pillow cat.
Oh.
That is it.
I thought of the second one. It's the really grinny smile, like the one that you send
all
to
the teeth.
everyone.
Yeah, well, it's got
with
all the teeth.
all the teeth.
Yeah, okay, all right, cool.
That's Ross.
Extra smiley. I'll take that.
Okay, so question number 8. Who's more likely to forget to wear their wedding ring after the ceremony?
Em doesn't wear an engagement ring now, to be honest. Have you got it on? Did you remember? Or?
Yes. But let me just explain this, because it comes across like I'm very harsh right now. I'm not.
Coming across like a dick.
When you're a gym rat, as all girls can experience, and you have a ring that's this big, it's going to get stuck. So we spend pretty much most of the morning training, and then when I come home, I'm just straight in the shower, back to work, and I just kind of forget to put it on. And before that, I've never been a jewelry girl. Like, I hardly ever wear earrings, definitely never wear rings. So for me, it's taken a while to get used to.
You've been better.
I have been better, and I definitely wear it when we go out to nice places. It's
Yeah.
just usually in the day, and I don't wear it at night
Yeah.
because I just find it a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm going to wear the wedding band as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never had a ring. I'm going to get the tattoo thing.
I think that you're not going to wear it as much because you don't wear jewelry either.
No.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll come back to that one. That was a
Yeah.
good question though. Right. You best wear it though.
Yeah. See? Bit of cat.
I've never done that one. Okay. Who said I love you first?
Me. 100%. It was me. Like, the same time that I realised that I loved you, it didn't take me long to be like, oh my God, I'm going to tell her.
Let me tell the story. So we were both very in the moment, and so we've been out all day, very drunk, out in.
Off our faces, we did so much magic.
We was out in the smoking area because neither of us smoked.
Fabric.
Neither of us
Yeah,
smoke.
if anyone goes out in London, in the UK, we was in Fabric at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Anyway, so Ross said to me, "Is there something you want to tell me?" I said, "Is there something you want to tell me?" And he went, "I love you." It was probably not like that. It was probably a bit more passionate, and I was like, "I love you too." So I guess like it was both of us, but
Yeah.
you
It
said
was
the
me,
words
isn't it?
first.
Yeah,
And then the next morning, I was like, "Do you remember what you said?"
And I said yes, obviously.
Yeah. And here we are. So
There you
thank
go.
God.
I reckon that was about 3 weeks in, I reckon.
3 weeks. Right. What's the funniest inside joke or nickname you've created for each other?
This is easy. Easy. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to make this live to the world?
Yes.
So, Em's got lots of names. I've got about 20 different names. Lara McMunchfoot. Loads of shit.
No,
but,
you have to name all of them.
I can't remember.
Let's go.
Strumpet. Fucking.
Right. Lara McMunchfoot.
So Lara Croft is Lara because when we used to do gymnastics, she used to have like a Lara Croft braid. I'm just going to the most important one because I can reel them all off and they're just stupid. I just say these names because they make me laugh. I like shouting stupid names to her when she's in a supermarket. I'm like, Strumpet! She's like, fuck off. Like, in there, so it's just funny for me. But the best one that's always lasted is Munchie. Because if you look at her foot, and I'm going to get her to show you now. I noticed you put trainers on.
No.
Like, you're watching this now.
I'm never going to show my foot.
Every time that you see her post on Instagram and say, show me your foot, Munchie. So her foot looks like a monster munch, okay? I don't know what happened. I know from dancing, but she's, like, say these are your toes. See, this one here is like that. It's like a crazy bent one. And when I met her, like one of her really good friends, she's like, oh, has he seen your foot yet? And I was like, what? And then she pulled it out, it's both of them. It's intense. So Munchie is something that stuck for like the whole 8 years.
That was how I was born, by the way. It was from dancing. I have a web toe,
I
have a web
I was
toe.
helping you out. I didn't want to say that she was deformed from birth. Okay, yeah,
But if it
fine.
was straight, then it would be longer than my big toe. Just going to throw that out there. And that's even more scary. So.
It's not, trust me.
And out of all those nicknames, the only one I have for Ross is Churchy.
Yeah.
And I only ever call you it on cards.
Yeah.
And never call you Churchy in
And why is
person.
that?
Because when we first got together, you used to go, oh, yeah. And I was like, you sound like Churchill.
There you go. I have
that
lots.
advert.
M does not have any.
No, I call you babe.
Or lover.
Lover, yeah. Lover's the one I call you. It's very random.
Not very
but-
creative,
No, it's not
but
very
never mind.
creative. but the munchie has spoken. Strudel pants.
McStrudel.
He calls me Strudel pants as well.
Yeah,
I have no
strudel.
idea where that comes from.
Strumpet, Strudel.
Strumpet, Lara McMunchfoot, Strumpet, Strudel pants,
Yeah.
Munchie, McMunchfoot.
Yeah, quite a few.
It's just different variations
Yeah,
of
just
the same
variation,
name, really.
yeah.
So,
Anything
right.
that sounds funny when you shout it in public.
What's the most hilarious memory you have of a date gone wrong? I feel like I need to tell this story, not you.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
The only date we ever had. How can you not remember this?
Oh no, I'm just waiting for you to tell me.
Okay, so me and Ross
Who the
ever
fuck is Dave? Who the fuck is Dave?
date. It's a
Oh,
date.
right.
So outside of the first date that we had in Camden, the second date that we had was the first date that we had, because the second one was in Camden was a proper date. The first one was Ross just brought me around his house for dinner and he cooked me burgers. Do you not remember this? You tell everyone the wrong story. Anyway,
Okay, we'll see.
prior to this date, I found out that I had an intolerance to avocado. So it used to make me really nauseous, really sick, really bad belly pains. Anyway,
Maybe that wasn't the first time I heard you fart. You know, if you circle back to question 1 or 2, actually that wasn't true.
No, you did not, because anyway, he tells the story wrong. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so I said to him I can't have avocado. He was like, oh, it's fine, I'm going to make mashed avocado. Like, that makes a fucking difference. Guacamole. I was like, okay, I'll just have a little bit. So I literally had the tiniest bit, and then about 3 hours into our date, I felt really ill. So I ran to the toilet and I just threw up in the toilet all night. But Ross likes to tell everyone.
She shit herself, 100%. I understand if you're intolerant, it's not a problem. But she went.
I
in
did not shit
Should we tell
myself.
them what you was wearing at the time as well?
No, let's not talk about that. Okay, moving on. What song have you chosen for your first dance and why?
You can go. I know this is important to you.
It's important to both of us.
I know you want to talk about it, right?
What, Touch?
Yeah.
So there's a drum and bass tune called Touch by Hybrid Minds. And when we first got together, I think all we ever used to do really was just listen to music. And we still do the same thing now. All we ever did was we fell in love to drum and bass. We both love drum and bass.
Yeah.
And then this song come out.
And we used to do a lot of what we call like Prosecco Wednesdays, especially in the early part of your relationship where we just used to drink loads of Prosecco on a Wednesday, listen to drum and bass in our flat and just like rave around and
And this, I don't
love
know.
on each other.
And this lyrics on this song were just very, I don't know, they just
Important.
very important to both of us.
Yeah.
And then for our anniversary, Ross got me the song printed in a
so
frame.
you can get like a frame where you've got like a record, like an old school vinyl record, and it has all the words written around it.
Yeah.
So you've got all that. So it's just important.
And I think the fact that this song come out probably 8 years ago, because we've been together nearly 8 years, and even till this day, we still love it. So when we first got together, it was like, this is going to be our first dance. And I think a lot of people would say that, but then later on, they'll find another song, or it's just they don't really like it anymore. But for us, we've always loved it.
And it's not a very traditional first dance song at a
It's
wedding,
a drum and bass
because
song.
we are going to be
But it's like
raving.
lyrical drum and bass.
We are going to be having it on the first one. It's not any like none of that. But it's going to be so good.
It's not a mental drum and bass song.
It's very us.
Yeah.
So that's it.
It's
Hands
very
down.
nice. 2 more questions. So, what has been the most challenging thing in your relationship? Emails. I'm gonna throw that out there. Emails. No, I'm joking. We were literally saying this the other day. I think, as a relationship, we don't have anything challenging.
No.
Because the best thing about us is that we communicate a lot.
Yeah.
We're very open about how we feel. I feel like I can tell Ross anything. And for anyone who doesn't know, before we first got together, I was a very negative person. So I was very down a lot. And Ross really brought out the positive side of me and showed me, you know, how to just be a happy person. And how else would you describe it?
She's grown a lot.
Yeah, so yeah, I've grown a lot as a person, and I think because I grew a lot, we grew together.
Yeah.
And then I taught you a lot of things that you didn't know about yourself, and we just grew as a couple over the years. It's not like I grew, he didn't. We've both grown, we both pushed ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
But the most challenging thing was having a business together.
Yeah.
And I think out of all the times we've had arguments, we've never argued about us as a couple.
No.
We've just argued about business. Decisions to make in the business, which I think is a normal thing because we're both passionate about it. We both want to be able to be as successful as we can.
Yeah, having a business together is a blessing and a challenge at the same time, because it means that every big challenge you have to go through, you're coming up together. But then the flip side of that is that you get to make all those decisions together at the same time. So a lot of people, when they're being in relationships, you can start together, but then if people have different separate careers, you can go on a different trajectory. And then people grow at different paces, because we don't have that. We either grow together or we don't. And because we've been on the same path and getting better and better and better all the time, or as much as we can be, and growing, then it's just never been an issue. So it's like, it's the biggest challenge, but also the biggest blessing at the same time. And we wouldn't be here otherwise, right?
Oh, I love that. That was really cute. So, last question
goes to Ross. Son.
Last question, and Ross kind of jumped the gun at the beginning of this. How many kids do we want?
Oh, 0.
So this is a really tough one, because when we first got together and we created our vision board, we always had a family on there.
Yeah.
We always had 2 kids, a girl and a boy. But this was 8 years ago, and this was before we had a very successful business and before we had a lot of responsibilities. So for us now, we've worked so hard to be where we are and to create the community that we have, and we're really proud of that.
And our team. We
love our team. Yeah.
We love our team.
We've worked really hard at this, that we just want to be able to keep doing what we're doing at least for another 4 or 5 years. And just, if I'm going to be honest, be selfish. Because at the end of the day, when you have kids, they become your responsibility and you need to give them the world. And right now, we just don't feel like we're in the position to do that. We want to be a little bit more selfish and actually enjoy, you know, we moved to Dubai a year ago. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves, do more traveling. But the thing for us as well is if I get to 35, which is 3 years from now, holy shit, that's come around real fast.
Quick.
And for anyone who doesn't know, Ross is 5 years older than me.
I don't look it. I know you were saying that, guys. Thank you. Like, wow, Em looks like a cougar. True. But I just have really good skins.
Yeah. So 3 years time, I'm going to be 35 and Ross is going to be 40.
Yeah,
and we said
40.
If we feel the same way then it's probably a no.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah.
You know,
it's like a never say never thing. We said when we first got together that we'll do it in 5 years, and now that we're 8 years into a relationship, and being 100% honest, like we've been doing this together for 8 years, we only really feel like in the last year has our business really got to a position where you can have all the time, because stuff takes time. So if you've worked really, really hard, you've enjoyed every minute of it, but you've worked really, really hard, you finally get yourself in a position where you can enjoy what you're doing. It doesn't make logical sense for us at this point to chuck in a load of massive big commitments, so we're just going to get a sausage dog instead.
Our kids are going to be 2 blonde sausage dogs that are coming next year.
Yeah.
And for anyone who knows us, they will tell you how much we love sausage dogs and how much we've been talking about them.
Yeah.
But again, same thing. It wasn't the right time because we were moving, we'd be travelling, we have the wedding.
Apartments. Always being in places where you can't have dogs, and it's not fair. You want to spend the time with them. And Em says 2, but well, we're going to get 1 called Chippy, short for Chipolata. Names again, this is where it comes from me. And then once we've got 1...
I made up Chippy.
They've heard.
He's a liar.
How many nicknames you have for me?
I come up with Chip, and you come up with Sizzle.
So do you see those 2 emojis I was talking about? See that little fiery one that just come out with and then once we've got 1 or 2, and then that works, I want a pack of sausages. Like a pack is 6 of them. Like come home and have all of them like running around the corner at the same time. I wouldn't get any work done. That's it. That's the goal. So I feel like, but that's it. But for the kids, we will see. Like never say never. But at this point, it's not on the cards right now. I just want to enjoy all the work that we've been putting into stuff, right?
Yeah.
And get married and enjoy that and have like 5 honeymoons. And then have loads of bum sex together. So much. Honestly.
Shut up. Okay, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your questions. We are going to be keeping you posted. Look at the camera.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much for your questions. They were really fun. No, hold on. So thank you so much for your questions. We are going to keep... God, fuck's sake. Thank you so much for your questions. We are definitely going to keep you posted on our wedding journey. We've got lots more to cover over the next 12 weeks. So if there's anything else that you want to see from us, anything else that you want us up... Fuck's sake. So if there's anything else that you want to see from us or be updated on, definitely drop it in the comments and make sure that you subscribe for the next episode of the wedding series.